Just before midnight on the 16th of August 2022, a quiet residential cul-de-sac in the Dingle area of Liverpool was torn apart by gunfire. 8 shots, a Scorpion submachine gun, military grade. It was capable of firing multiple shots in a fraction of seconds. 7 bullets shot the building around. One of the bullets shot a 22-year-old man named Sam Rimmer in his back and came out through his chest. Sam hadn't grown up in the Dingle. It wasn't part of what was happening there. It was just visiting. 3 years on, his murder remained unsolved. But here is the thing. The detectives said they know exactly who did it, but there's no way of proving it. This is the story of Sam Rimmer, the tough war that killed him, and the investigation that is still waiting for someone to talk. Sam Rimmer was 22 years old from Bootle in Sefton, a few miles north of Liverpool city centre. Dingle, on the other side of the city, was not his neighborhood. It wasn't his world at all. His mother, Joanne, would later speak about him publicly, not as a grieving mother trying to make an appeal, but as someone who is trying to make the world understand who her son was before they hear anything else about the night he died. Sam was not aggressive. Sam was not violent. In the words of the detective leading the investigation, Sam was never part of the Dingle drug scene. It wasn't even a target. It was just there at the wrong time. In the weeks leading up to 16th of August 2022, the Dingle area of Liverpool had been simmering. Merseyside police had recorded a series of violence going on in the neighborhood. All of them, they believe, was connected to the tough war between rival drug dealers fighting over local territories. This was not a single flare-up. It was an escalating pattern, the one that detectives understand and recognize, and they also dreaded ever happening. Because the longer it runs, the more likely it will end up in something catastrophic and irreversible. By the mid of August, it had been running long enough, and in the night of the 16th, things came to a head. Earlier that evening, CCTV camera picked up something significant. 2 electric bikes circling, doing laps around the streets of Dingle. Police believed the riders were hunting, looking for a potential rival, and they just really waiting for the right moment to strike. Sam Rimmer was inside a house on Lavrock Bank, a quiet residential cul-de-sac with a group of his friends. Some of the friends the police will later link back to be included in the drug dealing activity during the tough war. Sam, however, was not included. He was just there with them. At around 11:30, something drew attention. A noise loud enough to draw Sam and his friend out of the house into the streets. 4 men on electric bikes pulled up into cul-de-sac. One of the bikes made it to the top of the close, and then one of the masked rider discharged his weapon. 8 shots from the Scorpion submachine in the residential street. At nearly midnight, 7 bullets buried themselves into walls, doors, and people's homes. One of them, however, was Sam. He was struck in the back and the bullet passed through his body and exited through his chest, and he died. The bikers, however, ran off before anyone could find them. Merseyside police launched a police investigation immediately. From the beginning, the challenges was already clear to them. The shooting happened at midnight in a quiet cul-de-sac, a place where everyone had learned not to look closely to what is happening in the streets. Witnesses were actually scared simply because it happened in midnight and in a quiet location. But the CCTV footage of those electric bikes circling the area earlier gave investigators something to work with. And as the inquiry developed, so did the picture of what happened and who was responsible. 10 people had been arrested in connection with Sam's murder. Some of them are currently serving prison sentences for unrelated crimes. However, not one of them had been charged with Sam's murder outright. And the chief inspector had been careful and deliberate in what he says publicly. But he hadn't hadn't hidden what the investigation had concluded. The inspector said, and I'm quoting, "I believe we have identified those responsible for this murder. We just haven't got that piece of key evidence at the moment in time that will prove that. The killers are known. The case for now cannot just be closed." The gap between these two facts is what Sam's family have had to be living with all this while. Sam's mother has spoken publicly about what losing Sam had done to her and about what she needs from whoever is holding the piece of information that could probably lead to her son's murder being resolved. She talked about the image can't escape her head, not a happy memory. 3 years has passed. She said the pain has not eased with time, and yet she keeps going, keeps speaking, because she believed that someone out there know what truly happened. Alright guys, that's the video for today. Thank you so much for watching, and rest in peace to Sam Rimmer. I hope his murder get resolved.